Have you ever wondered about the long-term impacts of childhood neglect on an individual's adult life? Today, we delve into the 15 habits of adults who were victims of childhood neglect. This discussion is not to stereotype or stigmatize, but to create awareness and understanding. First on the list is an excessive need for self-reliance. These individuals often find it difficult to ask for help, believing they must fend for themselves. This habit is rooted in a childhood where they had to be their own support system. Secondly, many of these adults have a fear of dependence. They worry that relying on others may lead to disappointment or abandonment, mirroring their early life experiences. Thirdly, they may exhibit a strong desire for control. This stems from their childhood, where they had little control over their circumstances. As adults, they strive to control their environment as a way to feel safe. Fourthly, these individuals may have a tendency to isolate themselves. They often prefer solitude, having learned from an early age that they can only rely on themselves. Fifthly, they may struggle with self-care. Neglected as children, they may not have learned the importance of taking care of their physical and emotional health. The sixth habit is a difficulty in recognizing their own needs. These adults may not be in tune with what they need emotionally, physically, or mentally, as their needs were often overlooked in their formative years. Seventhly, they may have a fear of rejection. This fear can be so intense that they avoid relationships altogether or sabotage them before they can be rejected. The eighth habit is an aversion to conflict. Conflict may feel threatening or unsafe, leading these individuals to avoid it at all costs. Ninthly, they may struggle with feelings of guilt and shame. They may blame themselves for their childhood neglect, carrying these feelings into adulthood. The 10th habit is a tendency to overwork. These individuals may use work as a coping mechanism, using success as a way to validate their worth. The 11th habit is a difficulty in setting boundaries. They often struggle to say no, as they fear rejection or abandonment. 12thly, they often have low self-esteem. This is a result of a lack of validation and support during their childhood. 13th, they may struggle with trust issues. They often find it hard to trust others, fearing they might be let down. 14th, they may have a tendency to suppress their feelings. They have learned from an early age that expressing their feelings may lead to more harm than good. Lastly, they may exhibit a heightened sensitivity to criticism. Criticism may be perceived as a personal attack, leading to feelings of inadequacy and shame. In summary, the 15 habits of adults who were victims of childhood neglect include an excessive need for self-reliance, a fear of dependence, a strong desire for control, a tendency to isolate themselves, struggles with self-care, difficulty in recognizing their own needs, a fear of rejection, an aversion to conflict, feelings of guilt and shame, a tendency to overwork, difficulty in setting boundaries, low self-esteem, trust issues, a tendency to suppress their feelings, and a heightened sensitivity to criticism. Remember, these habits are not a life sentence. With awareness, understanding, and professional help, individuals can heal and break these patterns. Understanding these habits can be the first step towards healing and growth.